The time being 9 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make that a motion. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
Any discussion, additions? Motion carries. Oh, I didn't take a vote, did I?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll
Second.
second it. They look good.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Our first appointment is Ms. Kruger.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Have quite a few things on the agenda. Very positive. Human Services. We're looking at social work hire. We've successfully completed our social work search, and very happy to request that you approve the transfer of Carolyn Olson from KSA B22 to social worker C41 at step 5 at $23.73 per hour, effective November 21. Ms. Olson has over 30 years in the field of human services, and with over 20 years as or at 20 years as a social worker. She was a social worker for this county for 20 years, and she also is licensed in the state of Minnesota. Extremely well qualified for this position. So we respectfully request that she be appointed to that position.
Do we have a motion to approve Carolyn Olson for social
I'll make a
worker?
motion to approve Carolyn Olson's.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And just for clarification, in fact, in the event there's a question, the AFSCME contract talks about step 4 is as high as you can appoint. I want to let the record reflect, when she left the position of social worker, she was at step 5, so she's being reinstated into that. Okay, well, thank you. I will communicate. There is no request at this time as to what we're planning to do with the KSA position. I will be meeting with both Bethany Mullen and Director Puglisi in that regard. Public health, we have a public resignation of from Mary Thompson. The effective date of her resignation would be at the end of the business day on November 30th, 2016. Nurse Thompson has been with us for 11 years and given to provide 11 years of service to the residents of Houston County. She will be very missed, and thank her for her service. So if the board would formally accept her resignation. And
Move to accept the resignation of Mary Thompson.
I'll second it. She was very honored in our county,
Yeah.
across the state, actually.
Yes, she was very good. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
in the area of public health, I would also request that the board approve amending the public health director's assignment to reflect 1 point FTE in public health through December 31st, 2016, and, through January 6th of 2017 is what that should read. On January 7th of 2017, then the director has requested that she be placed back at .8 FTE. For the record, the director was serving as 1.0 FTE when she was in the position of both public health director as well as the interim director for human services. However, she at this time has a little catching up to do, if you will, and in public health, and so she would like to serve as 1.0 FTE until the 7th of January, and then she would go back to the .8.
Do we have a motion to approve that?
I'll make that a motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Looking for potential directors here. Information services. We have successfully interviewed and would like and have an offer conditioned upon board approval to hire Lucas Kuntz at a C42, step 3, an hourly rate of $23.73 per hour, effective November 16th, tomorrow. Mr. Kuntz has we had a very wonderful interview with him. He has about 19 years experience, and IT is very versed in the areas of technology that we are in need of here, both at the help desk as well as all the other, has experience in the various areas that the director discussed with them, including web work and the other areas of technology that we have need, security, firewalls, and some of the other programs. So we ask that he be, that you approve his hire effective tomorrow, C42, step 3.
Do we have a motion to approve Lucas Kuntz as the,
I'll make a
IT
motion
support?
to approve Lucas Kuntz as IT support technician.
do we have a second?
Second that?
Any discussion?
Does he make home visits? I had to take my computer
House
to
calls.
the doctor yesterday.
Is that a full-time position?
Yes.
Yes.
It is a full-time position. And part of his work is going to be working with us to get some of our intranet sites up and going, and so that we can more people listen. I'm very excited about this.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, in environmental services, is with the director's recommendation as well as my own, that planning and zoning and the employment status of Aaron Locker is moved from probationary to regular status effective November 23rd, 2016. Mr. Locker has successfully completed his probationary period of 1 year with the county.
I'll make a motion.
Second the motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I have the application for appointment to Houston County Committee Board and Commission that was forwarded to you, to the board for your consideration. I don't know if that is something that you actually need an action item, but I did ask that we approve it formally so that we can place it on our website. Any questions about it? Currently, the only two committee positions that are covered by this are the Board of Adjustment and the Planning Commission. However, we've done a little benchmarking, if you will, as to other counties, and I think it would be a format that you may want to consider as a board for all of your citizen appointments. And we could, as we move into more of a paperless process, we're doing more of that on the web too. And it have that on the web for public interest in any of the positions that may be open.
Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve, but some discussions.
I'll second it.
Just want to make sure everybody did see it.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
okay, all right, cool.
And this must have came from Personnel
Yep.
Committee to
Yep.
begin with Tessa.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I
tested it.
apologize,
seemed
I
like it.
neglected to.
No, I just wanted to make sure everybody saw it, because I know Judy and I would have seen it, but I just didn't know that everybody did, so. Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And the, what do I have on here? An information item. Houston County has been awarded the Minnesota Historical and Cultural Heritage Grant in the amount of $76,220 for the courthouse and jail construction planning and reuse study. A contract will be forthcoming for board approval. So we requested the entire amount that we requested. We were awarded. There is a $10,000 match that the county committed to.
Thank you, Tess, for all your work on that.
Oh, you're very welcome, and I couldn't have done it without the work of community members who volunteered their time and went up to the Historic Society with me, and the photographs that we brought with us, we will be framing and put them, because we did have some nice photography that was part of our presentation that we will mount on the walls.
Thank you.
Real quick, that grant, so you said there's 20% match by the county? Is that what you're
It's
saying?
$10,000.
Yeah, so what was the
There wasn't
76,000 though? What you're
Pardon?
saying? The 76,220 that you said?
Yes,
Yep.
plus the amount that's the amount they are awarding us.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure if that was what they were giving or if that was the whole lump sum together. Okay,
No, sir, that is what the state has awarded us.
perfect, thank you.
And there will be caveats that go with that. It will be, we have to set the time frame. It won't be all awarded up front, obviously. It meets certain criteria and then our paid a component of it.
Perfect, thank you.
And as for the reuse study for the jail, and then construction documents, if you will, for this building, primarily we're looking at the roof, the facets, the historical entry to the building. I believe there's some work around some of the windows, and I think there might a bit of tuck pointing here and there. But with what it will do will get us the documents and the engineering and the architect's documents that we need to apply for that next round of grants. It's been a real learning experience and how this process goes, but I think we're moving forward. I'm very happy to say that. And this morning, just as a last comment, the board will be meeting with a candidate for the surveyor office. So, and except for the surveyor's office, that's the only position we have outstanding to date.
That's good.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fill this year.
It has been a very busy year in that regard. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Justin Conway, would you like to come up for Brian Kokosinski, please? Good morning.
All right.
I have two items here today. The first one being final of the project on Daly Creek in Yucatan Township. Our final total cost for that bridge replacement is $244,728. Total of $2,944 over the original estimate. It came in at 1.2% over, which is reasonable there. We had about $2,500 over through the erosion control that's made. Just looking for a motion on that final.
Motion to approve the final bid project.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Right. Thank you. The second item here is for a quote that we had put out here as of last Monday for the final flood repair project. That project number is going to be CP 2016-801. Our engineer's estimate on that came in at $47,078. And Van Gundy Excavating was low on that with $48,900. The repairs for that project include facade 8, 15, 18, 25, 26, and 33. This is our last contract for the flood repairs from 2016 here. We're trying to wrap up our contract work. Not sure if that'll get completed yet this fall. We'd like it to, but we gave them the option to finish in the spring. So just looking for an award on that contract so we can get started on that if they choose.
Yeah, motion to approve Van Gundy Excavating for CP 2016-801.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, and that's all I had.
Since Mary's not here, do you want to move Courtney up and take that
She's
15
here.
spot?
Yeah.
Courtney, would you like to come up now? This is Courtney Berge, our EDA person from CEDA. Good morning.
So I wanted to give you just a quick update on some EDA things before we look at the revolving loan fund request. We've had a really busy fall. It's all great. I've had several meetings with local businesses who are, looking at expanding. There's a couple prospective businesses that have been contacting me, and I've also been working with a few on some kind of business development things. There's one business interested in learning more about succession planning, so that's positive to see. And I've also been, as part of the regional tourism and marketing discussions I've been holding, I've been hearing a lot about what the things are that the businesses really need. And so I had a meeting with the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation to see what kind of support they might be willing to give us for some training. They do a lot of that throughout their region, is support some free training, assistance, classes, things for businesses. So I'm working with them on creating kind of a plan of action to get those research and assistant trainings to our businesses. I've also been looking at how to connect us more regionally, and we are now members. I think we renewed our membership. We had lapsed with the Seven Rivers Alliance, and they're going to be rolling out some really exciting marketing things in the next year that we can be a part of and take advantage of that would save us, I think, a lot of money in paying consultants or marketing folks, even print materials. So that's exciting, as well as the Rochester Area Builders. There's a free membership that municipalities and counties can take advantage of, so we're now connected with that. The Minnesota Investment Financing project that we have with Crest Precast closed. Well, it is closing now. The grant, the project period ended at the end of October, so I've been working with the state to try to get all of those documents in line, make sure our files are in place, we have everything we need documented, and I'm working with the county attorney to get those documents completed, and hopefully we'll have them signed on Thursday. So there's been a lot of work with that, just in communicating with the state and making sure that we're all good to go to get that project wrapped up. And they're doing very well there, which I think is something that we can really be proud of, because they're growing, continuing to grow, and they've added a lot of new jobs to the region. So that's really great to hear. The marketing and tourism discussion, as I mentioned, there have been some really, really great outcomes for that, mostly just getting people involved in the same room. At the last meeting last month, they actually requested to meet more frequently because they wanted to continue building off of all the momentum that has been come up. There's a lot of specific things that we're looking at doing, creating more of a Visit Houston County website for tourism, because we don't really have a whole lot of collective outreach and marketing efforts for the county. So we're looking at what that might be. Those trainings, like I mentioned, there are several other things. looking at lodging and what that looks like in the county and how we can support the existing lodging and maybe create new opportunities for that. So there's several different things we're working on, and our next meeting is actually this Thursday at 9 a.m. at the Houston County Historical Society Museum. So I'm excited to see what comes from that, and we're hoping to get some of these things kicked off in the next year. So with that, I guess I'll move right into our task at
Courtney,
hand.
can I ask you one
Yeah.
question first?
Sure.
Did you get the email about the December 6th, Seven Rivers?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, I'm
Just wanted to
attending
make
that.
sure,
Yep, yep.
because that's
I
a
met-
really good connection.
It is, yeah, and I did meet with Lisa from the Seven Rivers Alliance, and she really was excited to get Houston County more involved with that, so I am planning to attend that meeting.
Good.
Yep. So I included a memo in your packet that talks about the Lifestyle Enterprises loan request. If there's any questions, I guess the short version is that they approached the EDA about a year ago as they were considering this expansion to include a Gunderson Lutheran physical therapy clinic. It's a really great thing for the community. They mentioned that there's a lot of people who have to drive to La Crosse or elsewhere to get these services. So they worked out a deal, and our committees, our finance subcommittee and our EDA has looked at this several times over the last year, and at our last meeting they approved, recommending it to the commissioners that we approve this $30,000 loan at the 2016 set terms.
So,
Do we have
That
a
is a good
motion
thing.
to approve?
I make that a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
Good thing for the county.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
If there's no other questions for me, that's all I have.
Thank you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Judy.
How about if we go ahead with placing the items on file for the consent agenda? There's correspondence to Hancock about
Hank Cook.
regarding Town State Excel, the Smith newsletter, and Historical Society income and expenses report. We have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda, items on the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner reports, Commissioner Chelmy?
Yeah, I attended the EDA meeting on the, I guess it was a week ago, last Wednesday. Courtney gave a good update. Courtney updated what we talked about. Yesterday I was in Orinoco for the Southeast Minnesota Water Resource Board. Had a good meeting with some good presenters there. I chaired my final Southeastern Minnesota Water Resource Board. Next, there'll be a new representative from our county next January. Your next meeting will be January 6th.
Thank you for doing that. Dana.
Yeah.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a good bunch of us.
Good. Commissioner Walters?
I had a CJC meeting last Wednesday, and of course, there's a lot of discussion on the court schedules and stuff like that, but the next meeting, they're gonna meet every other month. They do want one commissioner, and if that commissioner can't make it, they want an alternate to attend it. I did question, well, because originally it was 2 commissioners should go, but they need 1 commissioner and an alternate. Then I had EMS meeting, and they are upgrading their CEU training for all of our ambulance services, our first responders, and they are getting a lot of calls because a lot of small towns are losing their medical directors, and they can provide that as a service, a medical director for small towns. And like I said, if anybody is looking for education, CEUs, direction, they have a great program for all services. They did talk about how ambulances are kind of working together in small communities, and they even used an example of Caledonia and Spring Grove are working together with their services. Then I had a workforce development meeting. This is the time of the year when we contract with them. And right now, with our changeover in human services directors, we did get an extension on it to be billed in January. So, I did do canvas board, and I did work the township election in my district this year, so it's been a busy week.
Nothing.
Okay, and I had, let's see, I worked the election day for the city of Eitzen, Winnebago, and Wilmington Townships. Canvassing board yesterday. I had had SIMCAC last night. In that meeting, I learned that the kitchen serving this area in Caledonia will be closed. They'll be closing that, but they are using. They're not cutting out the service. Meals will be coming out of Rushford now instead, and they are in negotiations in trying to find another dining site for the citizens of Caledonia.
Who did the meals before?
It was up in, I think it was Methodist Church.
Okay, so they made them right there.
Right there,
Okay.
and they served right there.
And
But it
will
was
they
just
still
simply
be serving there?
not there.
Okay.
They're looking for another site. It was just getting too expensive for the church as far as providing the site, and for SIMCAC as far as trying to reimburse the expenses there. So, but the service will remain. It's just that they'll be using their kitchen in Rushford now, and they're in the midst of negotiating for a dining site.
Great. Do we have a motion to approve claims, human services, and license center disbursements?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Did you have anything?
Any
Meetings?
other discussion?
I did see that dues for the Seven Rivers. I thought we were always part of Seven Rivers.
No, we let it drop for a while, but now
Oh, I
it's
did
coming
not
out
know.
of EDA's budget.
Okay. And prisoner transport, is that for those medical needs? Must have been. I don't know. Probably don't have. The prisoner transport claim was $237. Is that for medical transport to the hospital, or?
Who was it paid to?
Yeah, I was just wondering what it was for, but,
Well, I think we actually had to transport a prisoner from, we had to hire someone from a different state to
Oh.
transport a prisoner for us.
okay,
I don't think it was medical.
okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I do like getting those ahead of time, Carol, those claims, so we can look at them.
Carol, would you like to come up at this time?
Sure, I mean, there really isn't that much to go through unless you've got questions. October is one of those months where we receive money, we pay bills, and we wait for November when we get our tax settlement money to
Mhm.
bring us back to our, beginning of the year levels of fund balance. And was there anything that you saw in any of the departments that made you wonder?
No, I usually review it pretty closely, and I didn't see anything myself, so.
Yeah, it's, in October, we're still not getting like second quarter reimbursements. November, we'll be showing additional revenues in terms of that.
Mhm.
I think we paid out a couple of highway projects.
Mhm.
So actually, unless you have questions.
That's another thing I like getting in advance.
Electronic is good. We did the final approval on the truth and taxation notices this morning that will be going out.
Okay.
Brace yourself. There's areas where there's big increases, there's areas where there's decreases,
Mhm.
shifts in values and shifts in levies, and
Carol, what day is the Truth and Taxation?
December 12th.
12.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've got that, okay.
6 o'clock?
Yep, 6 p.m. Yep.
I actually am gonna request that Tom put together, like, kind of a chart that shows, like, the city of Caledonia residential went up. City of Spring Grove went down, but, you know, like shifts in those type of values, so we kind of have an idea too.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Our assessor will put all that together for the meeting. All these shifts.
Information to have available that night. There are certain things that we have to address, but providing other information just makes it better for taxpayers. Right?
Sounds good.
No, like in Indianapolis.
Huh?
Oh, Indianapolis.
I gotta look.
I was thinking,
We're just
we go to
checking
Florida.
on, Mary and making sure she's coming.
We're in Florida this week.
Yeah, he's usually here.
Yep.
And we go to Indianapolis here. to
So how'd the
here.
interview go?
I'm driving back in the Sunday, so just cool. He should be back by 6 p.m. for sure.
We have public comment today. There's people here.
I suppose.
There's 3 people that want to.
We're just waiting to see if
Should be.
Yeah,
public health is coming.
I think, yeah, Mary's on for 9:30. On the reminders down below, we should make sure that we have that joint public health with Fillmore County meeting listed.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up.
That's next
That's
Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
So we won't be going to the department.
No,
No.
You and I are scheduled.
I know. I had my brownies all ready to go.
We can bring along public health.
That's true.
Okay, all right, thank you. Bye. She's in John's office.
What time's the meet and greet? For John?
11, or following the work meeting? No, maybe it's 11. Or does it start at 10? I can't remember.
I don't remember. Of course, I didn't write it down. Got the date. We got the day. Teresa, when's meet and greet for John?
It was today.
It's today. What time?
I thought, I don't know.
Following
Yeah. I
this
thought-
meeting?
Yeah, I
Something
would
like
think
that?
so, but
Okay. I think it's in my email somewhere too, but.
mhm.
Hey, this is Sean from the boardroom. Do you know if Mary Michelle is down in the department?
You text her.
Okay,
I just
thank you.
did.
Bye. She just left human services. So I assume she's on her way.
Meet and greet starts at 10:30.
Oh,
Room 210.
okay. Oh, here she comes.
Good morning. We're waiting for you, Ms. Marshall.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Come on up. We have our new Director of Human Services today.
Morning.
That's
Good
right.
morning.
Good morning. Welcome aboard.
So, as we're handing things off here, I prepared these 3 with some help, contracts for human services that need authorization this morning. The first one that I'll visit about is this multi-county cooperative admin agreement with Wabasha County for SNAP orientation services with the workforce development folks. This is the second year of that agreement.
Basically, Wabasha is the host county for Mower, Houston, Wabasha, and Goodhue. The total amount of funds available is $33,987. That is for 2017, fiscal year 2017. And that is for the Workforce Center folks to do the SNAP orientation, employment assessment and development plans, job search classes, and referrals to available employment assistance programs and agencies. So this is not a new contract. It has been reviewed by the county attorney, and that's where we're at with that.
Okay.
So is it the crest? Is that what you're referring?
No, this is not the crest.
Snap.
This is-
Oh,
Snap.
SNAP, I'm
This is
sorry.
SNAP.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the SNAP contract?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'll just get you the signatures all at once, if that's
Okay.
fine with you.
Yep.
Okay, the next one is then the Crest. We'll go there with the Crest agreement. This is a 2-year contract with Olmsted. Basically, it's an agreement for Olmsted to be the fiscal host. This is not anything that is new, but out of the large funding that comes, it's for almost a $4.6 million that comes through this cooperative agreement with the 10 counties in Region 10. It designates Olmsted County to be the fiscal host and establishes $160,000 of that appropriation to be paid to Olmsted for their fiscal host grant duties. And again, that's for the 2-year 17 through 12/31 of 18. Again, nothing new. Sam has reviewed it for content, and I think everything was good there.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the Crest grant?
I'll make a motion to approve the Crest Cooperative Agreement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And then the last one is for the contract for adult mental health services. This does not come through the Crest multi-county collaborative agreement. This just comes directly to the county. This is for community support for adult mental health. And again, this is a 2-year contract, not to exceed $155,000 for a 2-year period. Same amount as prior years. And it really is to help adults with receiving adult mental health services through the Comprehensive Adult Mental Health Act with the state. So these dollars come directly to Houston County from the Department of Human Services.
I'll make a motion to approve the adult mental health grant contract.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Just get some signatures.
Blue?
How's the morning going?
Good. Busy. Few things going on. And we'll get you copies. If they sign it, the next one, I'll need to do that. Yep. Thank you. Let's see on the side.
This one?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we hope that we'll see you at the meet and greet this morning about, what time did we say, 10:45?
Okay. Thank you for coming in.
Here's the, John will be bringing contracts. We've got a pipeline of more coming.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll see you later. If it's all right, I thought we would go ahead with public comment.
Sure.
And then we have some time before the
Survey.
survey will be coming in, and then we'll just rejoin at that time. Okay. So at this time, if you have, being the third Tuesday of the month, if you have public comment you would like to come forward and say, please. raise your hand so we can acknowledge you. Would anyone like to do public comment for the board? Is there anyone who'd like to do public comment for the board? Then at this time, I'm requesting we go into recess until till 10, I think, that we're
What time is
scheduled
coming in?
for 10 with our surveyor to interview.
Sure. Okay. Motion for 20-minute recess.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.